Protecting the lives of people who are threatened by bushfires has always been our highest priority in the fire services. That's been emphasised by the experience that we had during the Black Saturday fires of 2009 and also the discussion that occurred during the Bushfires Royal Commission. Evacuation is now one of the options that we have in helping people stay safe. Recommendation 5 of the Bushfires Royal Commission final report talked about evacuation as part of Victoria's bushfire safety policy, and the State Emergency Response Plan now includes some clear guidance about evacuation. The State Emergency Response Plan is that plan that we all work to across all agencies in managing emergencies in Victoria. Victoria Police and the fire services have prepared guidelines for managing evacuations, and we hope to see those guidelines provided to everybody very soon. The evacuation guidelines make it clear that the decision to recommend that members of the public should evacuate rests with the control agency and the incident controller. We're developing operating procedures that give guidance to incident management teams and incident controllers about the things they need to consider if they're going to make a recommendation to evacuate. It also gives clear guidance on how we communicate that recommendation to the public and to everybody else who needs to know what's going on. One of the important things for our incident controllers to remember is that any recommendation to evacuate should be reached in consultation with Victoria Police and members of the emergency management team if they're available. We also need to make sure that our people on the fire ground know what's happening, and it's important for the incident management team to communicate with the fire ground managers, our sector commanders and our strike team leaders as soon as we've made that decision so that they're ready for what happens on the fire ground when people do start moving. We'll make sure that we include in our training materials and our briefings for people all the updates in relation to the evacuation process and recommendations to evacuate. When you're going through the considerations in relation to recommending evacuations, you may come to the conclusion that an evacuation is not the best way to keep people safe and protect life. However, if you've gone through the evacuation process, you've consulted with police and you do come to the conclusion that the best way to protect a community or a part of a community is to recommend that they leave, then you should proceed with a recommendation to evacuate.